I'm going to show you how to decorate a white Easter bunny rabbit cupcake. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to my channel for more cake and cupcake related videos. Okay, so I'm going to use some fondant icing, which is an icing you get from your supermarket. You can see more in the description below. Here I am just adding a little bit of tylose powder so that the fondant can set quicker for my ears. If you have time for the ears to set, like several hours, then you don't need to do this step. Okay, so once I've mixed the tylose through the fondant, I'm just rolling it out, and then I'm going to use a paper template that I've cut out, and I'm going to use that to cut out the fondant for the rabbit's ears. Okay, I'm using a pointy craft knife just to trim around the template to get my first ear. Now it's a little bit rough, so all I'm doing is just smoothing it over with my fingers, just by slightly patting it and smoothing it out. Okay, with the second ear, I'm going to show you how to use a cutter. I'm using a cutter that I already have. It's a frangipani cutter, or like a teardrop cutter. Now I'm just stretching it out slightly because it's a little bit short and I want to match the other ear. Okay, now onto my pink fondant. I've coloured this pink with some food dyes, and now I'm just cutting out the pink part of the rabbit's ear. You can also see a tutorial on my channel on how I colour fondant as well with food dyes. Okay, I'm using my cutter to cut out this pink part and then trimming it slightly smaller. You can also cut a smaller template if you don't have the cutter to cut out this part. Okay, onto my second ear. Again, just cutting out the pink section and then using my cutter just to somehow trim the excess off, just to make it smaller so it can fit inside the white part of the ear. Okay, so just smoothing it out and then adding it onto the white part of the ear. I'm going to use my edible glue now just to glue it on. You can also see a tutorial on edible glue or how to make it on my channel. If you don't have edible glue, you can just use a little bit of water with a paintbrush just to stick it together. Okay, now I've just added the kinks to the ear just by twisting it slightly. And I'm just going to leave that to set. Like I said, if you don't have tylose powder in that, you can just leave it setting for several hours. And then I've moved on to my iced cupcake. This is my cupcake already covered in buttercream. You can see a tutorial on how I get it ready, or to that stage before I covered it in the fondant. Now I've just covered it in a disc of white fondant, smoothing it over, ready for me to decorate. Now I've rolled a couple of white fondant balls. Okay, that's going to be part of the rabbit's face area. Now I'm just gluing the two balls together. And I'm going to make his teeth now. Should actually make the teeth a little bit earlier so it has time to set, so it's not so soft when you stick it into the face. I'm just making an indent there so that it looks like teeth. And now I'm using a set of teeth that I've already done earlier, that's already set. I'm digging in with my palette knife just to make room for the teeth to go in. Now I'm using some edible glue for the teeth to actually go in. Now I've noticed it's a little bit long, so I'm just taking it out and trimming a little excess off and then sticking it back in. Okay, so that's the rabbit's teeth ready to go. Now back to the cupcake. I'm putting it on the cupcake, gluing it again with my edible glue, and then I'm going to use a cocktail stick or a toothpick just to poke some little holes in the round balls. That's just to make it look like it's got whiskers coming out of its nose area. Okay, so now I've just used a little bit of pink fondant and I'm going to stick that on top of the nose. Well, I think that is its nose. And there, it's almost finished. Now I'm moving on to some black fondant. I've used a cut off straw and I'm just going to use my toothpick to get the little black section I've cut out. I'm cutting two little black circles out, and now I'm rolling up two small circles. I'm just elongating it slightly to look like eyeballs, and I'm flattening it out with the bottom of my rolling pin. Now all I'm going to do now is stick it onto the cupcake. After I place it on, I check it to make sure it's the right size. I stick it on, and then I the final touch is adding the two little black eyeballs. before I add the 2 ears on. Okay, if you're liking these videos, please let me know. Throw me a comment, and yeah, click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Okay, now back to the cupcake. I'm using my palette knife just to do a couple of indentations into the icing and the cupcake. Now I've noticed my ear's a little bit too long for what I like, so I'm just cutting a section off and then poking it in. Same with the other ear, it's a little bit too long, so I'm just cutting a little section off at the bottom, and then I'm poking it in. Now I'm gluing it down so it looks like it's kind of sitting on the cupcake. Now I'm using a little bit of petal dust in red or pink, and then I'm just dusting the face to give it a little bit of a glow or a blush look. If you don't have petal dust, you can just leave this step out. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you guys think, and have a fantastic Easter. Bye for now, you guys. Take care.